This episode is brought to you by Major Spoilers VIP members. Thank you for your support of Major Spoilers and the Major Spoilers Podcast Network. If you would like to become a bronze, silver, or gold VIP member, go to members.majorspoilers.com for more information.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and listening, and thank you everyone who's going over to iTunes and sharing your favorite comments about the show, those fabulous 5-star reviews. We appreciate and love them all. You know why? Not only does it give us encouragement to keep doing this show week after week, but it helps out in our rankings and ratings and allows other people to find this episode. So I'm hoping that in addition to doing that and sharing it with your friends, that when you guys are going into your friendly local gaming store, is that what it is, Rob? FLGS?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you're talking to the other people in the store about how much you love the show and why they should get into it. And speaking of getting into it, Rodrigo, it's time to move this story forward.
Yes. So last time
On Critical Hit.
Yeah, that show. What did happen last time on Critical Hit?
Oh, man. We met Kit's grandmother. A wonderful woman.
Of course.
Super awesome.
We met some Plague District folk, and Ket made a promise to them.
Foolishly.
Then Ket and Little Sparkle and Sakar went down to the docks to inquire about the Salamander's coil. And Randus and Orem, God, those two, went looking for information on their own.
Crime. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And they may or may not be lost in the streets.
Friends.
They may or may not be lost in the streets of Coldport.
Okay. So we will pick up with Little Sparkle, Ket, and Sakar as they are making their way to the slightly more reputable part of the docks.
Sweet. We're going to try to duplicate the work that Orem and Randus did since they already found out where the Salamander Coils Marina is, by trying to find out where the Salamander Coils Marina is.
Right. Well, it doesn't take you very long to figure that out, partially because a bunch of guys, renting a whole marina for a while is a big deal. And also because I want to say you roll like a 40 on your Streetwise check. So you guys figure that out, and right about that time, you guys kind of basically you go up to the kind of the office area of the marina, and as you go up, it's kind of up these stairs, and then like up on this wall that kind of turns into the main kind of like the main drop off that then leads to the dock. And as you guys make your way up, like way off in the distance, you guys actually spot Orem and Randus heading towards you.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
What brings you here?
We said we were coming to the docks to investigate the...
Oh, yeah, that's right. We kind of actually found out some information about where they've been holed up the last week or two before they left. Over in the Crane District.
What did you find?
We just heard that they rented just a big spot.
The district we are at now.
Yeah, that we just had found out that they'd rented a big spot over here. And that's why we started to come over here.
So they do have a ship
cool.
of their own, most likely?
I don't know. Is that what you gathered, Randus?
I would believe so. Is that not what?
That's what I gathered.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they've most likely departed already, and but we can possibly try to pick up their trail on a place called Eel Island, which they would have had to go to resupply.
Eel Island?
Mm-hmm.
Eel Island.
Interesting. How far
Which
away is
then
that?
begs the question.
What's the question?
Are we going to follow them all the way to the southern continent?
I'm certainly planning on it.
I think we'll follow them as far as we need to go to fix this problem.
Do you not want to do that?
Well, it's not that I don't wish to. It's just a question of Hazard has somewhat agreed to take an unknown number of people to an unknown place.
Oh, actually, I agreed to get an unknown number of people out of the city and on their way to another place.
Do we know where that place is?
I believe I'm going to send that. Well, I've got a couple of options. Part of it will determine on how many people we actually have,
Which we don't know.
which we won't know for a bit. But if there's not too many people, then we can potentially send them on north to the seven
The Seven Clans Total Control Area?
Seven clans, which I do know a few people there and may at least be able to get them some amount of assistance.
Are these the kind of people who are likely going to be able to make that trek alone?
Potentially. And they have survived the Twin Districts for the last few years.
But as we've seen, the streets of the Twin District and the rest of the continent can be a very different experience.
True. The other options depend on the numbers and how many people the Baroness can hold.
Oh, I don't know how many people. Are you?
Rod,
Are you asking me?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The Proud Baroness can house probably about 6 people comfortably, about 10 people uncomfortably, and about 20 people if nobody really cares about elbowing each other and everybody's watching out for nudging somebody accidentally overboard.
There you go.
So not as many as I would have hoped.
No, the Baroness is actually a tiny ship as far as ships go. As far as airships, it's the biggest one you've ever seen.
So again, the question becomes, regardless of the numbers, where can these people be ferried?
Oh, I will figure that out.
Well, it's not like they have the plague, or it's not like they have diseases that are going to cause people to shun them or attack them. I mean, they're people.
You've traveled with us through the rest of the central continent.
Sure.
It's not exactly the most hospitable of places.
No, but
It's been tempered some in the years since you've been gone, but not amazingly well.
Well, Ritas and
Correct me if
Sakar,
I'm
aren't you
wrong.
two nobles? Can't you, I don't know, pull strings or something to find these people a new home?
The problem is the time.
Mm-hmm. The time and the distance. Neither of us are in any way close to those that we might even pull strings with. The question then becomes, I was of the impression that those in the Plague District were not allowed to leave it.
Right. Which is where I come in the whole getting them out of their thing. The Plague District in the last couple of weeks has lost a lot of the usual guard. So unless we have a ridiculous number of people, I'm pretty confident in getting everyone out through some of my exit and entrance points that are lesser known to the rest of the city. Or bribing some of the guard. Whichever one happens to be more prudent.
Well, the district seems pretty quiet, so it doesn't seem like there'd be, an enormous number of people. We could kind of play it by ear once we see how many we're dealing with.
Which is kind of the plan, because I can't really logistics this until I have some final
does
numbers.
the city have the names and numbers and the faces of all the people that are supposed to be in the plague district? I mean, just getting them out and letting them run around the city would be fine, right? Can't they just settle in another district? Or is that not possible?
I say, did the city track the people in the plague district, or did it just kind of put up the walls and forget about them?
No, they had some sort of census. And the thing is an influx of people. Like, if there's that family and then another family, maybe. If there's 3 more families, then an influx of people into another district might raise some eyebrows. Where did these guys come from? Oh, the plague district?
Quick, burn them.
Yeah, exactly. This time, they might not even herd them back. Or they might end up accidentally creating a second plague district.
Way to go, Ket.
So,
What? They're my responsibility.
we all understand responsibilities to your people. The question is then going to become, first and foremost, should the need arise, can they protect themselves, or are the 5 of us going to have to protect them as well?
We may be able to pay for that as well. By we, I mostly mean I.
So it seems our first order of business is identifying exactly how many evacuees we're going to be working with.
Seems like it.
What is the travel time to the 7 Clans district from here, Rodrigo?
To the
Days?
Yeah. I mean, every other... So, Coldport is in the Freelands, but it's in the farthest south of the Freelands. Every other country also touches the Freelands, but again, you'd have to get through it. And when you say how far to the 7 Clans total control area, it's kind of like saying how far from here to Canada, right? It's like, well, you can make it to the border to Canada, but then what?
How accurate of a placement is the old map we had?
Pretty accurate.
Because Coldport's like in the center of the Freelands, right next to the 7 Clans area.
Yeah, basically where the T is, that's where Coldport is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not as far from the 7 Clans area as it could be. It's
Sure. Yeah, you could probably make the trek from the T to the border within a month.
I forgot the scale on this map was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
This map is roughly the size of Australia, maybe a little bigger. And, you also have to consider there's no cars or planes. Everybody's hoofing it.
Right.
Yeah.
6.5 weeks with a cart full of iron. So, we understand a moral obligation. How best to begin the process in a way that will allow us to also maintain our pursuit of the salamander coil?
If the group is... Hopefully, at least a number of them will be capable of protecting the group, and we can get them out of the city and on their way. If the group is too large and doesn't have anybody that protect them, I should be able to hire mercenaries of some sort or another to protect them on the way out, or on the way to the 7 Clans.
Trustworthy and mercenary are words that don't always associate well.
True.
I know plenty of mercenaries. I can probably try to help. I mean, I don't know any of the local ones, but I've gotten, I guess, pretty good at telling whether a mercenary is going to do the job or steal your money. So if it comes to that, I can help with the interview process.
And there's some notable ones around here whose reputation is worth enough to them that they may, or that they're less likely to cause problems.
So our first order of business remains a head count.
Yep. Because if it's small enough, the Eel Islands may be their new home.
Or at least a temporary way station until we return.
True.
Well, we'll only find out if we get back to the Plague District.
All right.
Lead the way, Hazard.
Okay. You guys walk back to the Plague District. Ket finds you a way in. And by the time you get back to more or less the center of the district, you find about 120 people assembled there.
That was my assumption.
Did anybody else just feel the wind knocked right out of them?
Have you not been playing Rodrigo's game for 6 years?
I know. I knew it was coming, and I knew it was coming, and I knew it was coming, and it still hit me.
They're mostly humans, although there's plenty of half-orcs. Maybe probably only about 20 of them are teenagers or children or babies. Like basically about 20 of them are not able-bodied adults. The rest are.
That's promising. How?
There's also a couple donkeys.
That's useful. Though potentially problematic in the whole getting out of the district portion of our venture. How many of them seem capable enough that they'd be able to protect the group? If it came down to it?
So, I mean, Ket knows a lot of these people. You know, only really a small handful of them have any obvious combat experience that you know. The majority of them, again, are able-bodied adults living in a medieval fantasy world and not the best district, so they know where to shank someone, but, that doesn't necessarily do much for you during a, rogue attack or anything like that.
All right, so there's a few individuals who could help protect, but not anybody who's
not enough to protect another 100.
Yeah.
Is there any immediate danger?
Are you asking me?
I'm actually asking in character. At Ket.
Okay.
There's no, other than what we left in the bar, there's nothing in the district that's particularly dangerous at this point. Just no effective way to get goods, foods and medicines in and out of the district.
So the supply
is going to be running down soon. And without me keeping it flowing, it'll cause problems.
I mean, could we book them passage on a boat to get, or maybe put them up for a while Randis or Sakar's people find a way to resettle them?
Could we send a message? Or not necessarily sending, just a message to your people about refugees?
We can probably get a message sent.
It sounds certainly doable.
Mm-hmm.
both houses working in concert might even make it simple.
Yeah.
I almost hate to say that. I'm waiting for another shoe to drop.
Well, how quickly do you think a message would come back?
Through the proper channels?
Or even improper channels. If we were to use your sending ritual.
That would probably expedite things. I mean,
does your title just not give you the ability to say these people are protected and send them on their way?
As a head of state, Warden Duthane would have the ability to say that. The question becomes, what mechanism does he have in this district to enforce it?
Mm-hmm.
No, what Steven is getting at is if they get these guys out of Coldport, would he be able to put them up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Orem is getting at. He's not saying could he protect them in this district. Or really what Orem is asking is if Randus tells his people to put these guys up, it stops being Randus' problem to put him up, and it becomes his people's problem to put them up because he's the Lord, which is in fact correct.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as Sekar knows. Sekar also knows, being part of the royal family himself, that servants, or not servants, but basically your seneschals, the people that are in charge of running the country for you, hate that shit. That doesn't mean it can't happen. Like, you guys know that there's red tape in the way, but Randus is in a unique position to cut through it.
It would be difficult, but certainly possible.
Would we be able to send them to Diamond Throne with your sigil to have that taken care of?
I mean, we can send them. Sure, but through what means? Like, what? How would they get passage?
A letter with your seal on it.
Yeah, we can do that, but it's kind of a ways back to Diamond Throne.
They've got donkeys.
They've got a couple.
2 donkeys. So,
Is there a coastal way to reach Diamond Throne? We could book them a ship.
That
would be really tough.
would be difficult. Diamond Throne's coasts are on the opposite side of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
As are the 7
Could we get-
I think we'd have to have a good number of ships for this number of people.
there's something paper. There.
Then sounds like by land, maybe like book them passage on a caravan or go the mercenary route.
Booking them passage with a caravan would probably be the best route.
It would be, but what caravan out of Coldport would take a bunch of plague refugees?
One we paid a lot of extra money to?
That's a good answer.
Yeah. I mean, that
That may be the only answer.
100% ready to sacrifice a fair chunk of funds for this.
I think from what I'm understanding is we all need to go find a caravan and get this taken care of.
Okay. So I did hear someone yell out Caravan Depot like 15 times.
Caravan Depot!
But there are individual caravan companies. They are more or less close together, so you guys can start trying them.
Oh. Walk up to the one that looks the least closed.
Walk up to the one that looks like they're the biggest.
That too. Which would
Okay.
probably be the same.
Could be.
I mean, the biggest one is least likely to close.
Could be. Let's knock on the door and find out.
All right. So you guys find the one that fits the Venn diagram of biggest and least closed. You guys knock on the door, and the door opens to reveal a halfling lady.
Hi.
We're closed.
Sorry. We're
When
looking.
do you open?
Well, I guess first thing tomorrow, because the caravan's leaving tomorrow.
Oh, so there's a caravan leaving soon. Do you have more room for people?
Yeah, we can probably get the 5 of you in.
We have a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Like maybe 120 more than us?
That is a lot of people.
We
probably have about 8 places left.
Oh. Sorry to have bothered you then.
Is there some place or someone, or is there a caravan group around here that might be able to accommodate a large number like that?
I don't think so. Not at such late notice. I mean, we're the biggest and most open caravan.
When might you have some room?
Well, it's going to take us 6 months to get to our destination, then probably not quite as long to get back, so we should have something within a year. Of course, if we could maybe buy or rent a few more carts from other companies tomorrow, maybe get some oxen or something like that, we might be able to accommodate that many people.
Do you have an approximate cost?
Yeah. We'll say $1,000 per person.
Ooh.
And by bucks, I mean gold pieces.
They have a deer on them.
They do. In Coldport, the mint has a little deer on it.
So 105,000 gold?
At least.
120,000.
Well, you had 120 people.
120,000.
That seems steep.
On late notice, though.
I don't think we have that.
No, we certainly do not.
All right. Well, time to go to Plan B, talk to mercenaries.
Yep. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Sorry we couldn't work anything out.
It's okay. So where's the mercenary depot at?
I know everything isn't served up at a depot in the Feywild.
No, we have to make do with what we have ourselves. But in this big city...
It's
the first time...
Not a depot.
The first time that Orem got to Diamond Throne, he learned the word depot, and he's been very excited about
It's like a whole foreign word. At first I thought it was a bad word, and I kept saying it every time I was angry. Depot,
okay,
you torque.
So where's the bar where mercenaries hang out?
There's probably going to be a few.
Again, as with anything in Coldport, you just have to pick a range, basically, of sketchiness.
Well, we have to balance our risk versus our reward. We need people who are trustworthy enough to make certain that Hazard's people arrive where they need to, but also if they want to sketchy enough that they can get up and walk away.
And if they want to get paid, they'll have to get them to their final destination.
Mm-hmm.
So, moderate level of sketchiness it is.
I'm almost certain we'll be paying at least part of the fee in advance.
We'll pay
more,
something up front.
No more than 10,000.
Okay. Let's go find some less sketchy mercenaries.
Okay.
All right. You guys go find the tavern where the medium sketchy mercenaries hang out.
It's called the medium sketch.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you
It used to be a
guys...
scale cauldron.
Yeah.
Then it goes down
It
the
used to be the
district.
skill cauldron back when. You guys find it, and Orem and Randus find themselves in somewhat familiar environs back in the Centipede district.
Oh, back here again.
Yeah.
Again?
We were here earlier talking with the head guy,
Well,
I guess is what you
hey.
should call him. The guy that controls this area.
Wait,
The
I think
district
he's
boss.
not. I don't think he's that good of a guy.
Boss. They're
Yeah.
not. Centipede's not exactly
He had a big
an up
fish
and
tattoo.
coming district.
He had a big fish tattoo. Randus made a good deal with him. Maybe we'll get a better deal this time.
Made
I'm
a
glad you guys are making friends.
deal with one of the district bosses.
It's a trade negotiation is what they
Yes.
called it.
70-30 split.
Wait, who gets the 70?
Not
Well-
him.
Wow. Okay.
So, I guess head to the tavern.
Yes. The tavern is generally known as the Crooked Ox. Mostly because at some point it was just called the Ox, but the sign is now crooked, and they just haven't fixed it.
Nice.
Besides, you can't pay for naming like that.
Yeah. The
Randy. Literally.
yeah, when you approach, it's a fairly large place, and it's pretty hopping right now. Although nobody's getting thrown out any double doors or anything like that. It just sounds like people are in there talking, having a good time. Maybe a little bit of music is playing inside. It's hard to tell from outside.
Head in.
Okay. Ket walks in. Do the rest of you follow him in?
Yeah,
I
Sure.
do.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. So there is kind of a not quite a record scratch moment, but pretty close, just on account of you guys being a motley group.
Oh, I do have my hat and my glasses on.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so 4 of you looking
Yes.
very motley, and 1 of you looking completely inconspicuous.
Completely fantastic.
Yes. Fantastically
With
inconspicuous.
my cap and my glasses and my elegant robes.
Right. And then slowly after you guys have made an entrance, everybody kind of goes back to what they were doing.
I'll check out the crowd, look for people that, look like they are probably mercenaries, see if anyone's got, the kind of mercenary band insignia. And then if so, or if it's just something I think might be mercenary band insignia, point it out to Ket for confirmation, since he presumably knows the locals better than I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically
you can-
do the same thing.
Okay. You can both give me a streetwise check, but you have to decide who's taking point on it.
My streetwise is 23.
You're taking point.
Okay. Sounds
My
good.
streetwise is 16.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it, and if Ket breaks a 10, Little Sparkle gets a +2.
So not a 1. All right, got it.
Oh,
Nice,
Way to go.
Nice job, Nate.
Okay.
I will use always a natural to re-roll that.
Okay. For the listeners at home, Rob rolled a 2, Sam rolled a 1,
That's
and
right.
re-rolled into a 7.
Yeah,
Which is
so
better
now
than
I have
that.
a 30 plus
Okay.
2 from Ket.
Okay.
32.
Yep, you see a couple of guys and or a couple of groups, and Ket confirms them to be a mercenary group. But more importantly, there's also separately a couple of guys who are clearly conducting business.
Mm.
There's one guy who has a very curly kind of handlebar mustache. Maybe in his late 30s, wearing a nice cloak, not really hiding anything, just sitting at a table. And every once in a while, people come in, talk to him. Maybe some money will be exchanged. And then this guy's human. And on kind of at the opposite end of the bar, there are a couple of tieflings that kind of have the same deal going on.
Cool. Do I get any type of vibe between the human and the tieflings as to who might be more, I don't know, capable or trustworthy?
Not really. Really what you get from these guys is that these guys are people who, for whatever organization they work, can wheel and deal and make decisions. Like approaching individual mercenaries, like of this kind. Like unless you are like basically being the old bearded man in a tavern and getting together a party of adventurers, like if you want a mercenary company, you are going to have to talk to one of these guys.
Yeah, cool. Well, I will approach Mr. Handlebar Mustache.
Okay.
Please call him Handlebar, his father.
He looks you up and down and says, hello, can I help you?
Yes, I was hoping that you might be able to help me with some business.
I see. And what business would that be exactly?
Well, we're looking to hire an escort.
Oh. Where are you going?
No, it's not for us.
I didn't think it was.
Fair enough. They're going to, she looks at Randus Diamond Throne?
Yes. The southeastern realm.
Okay. Where in Diamond Throne? And he pulls out a pad of paper and starts writing.
There's the southeast. Where's my...
I don't know your inner story.
You're the warden of the southeast. What's the city there? I can't remember the name of it now. It used to be the Baron Hall, but I can't remember the thing. Baron Hall.
Baron Hall lands, yeah.
I got nothing. He's busy being an NPC. He's not going to help us.
Yes.
Got a map handy.
Working on it.
I had one, but it's gone.
Hall Graven, Hall Baron.
It was eaten.
Alphonse? Oh, wait, no, that's the former head of the land, not the
Layholm? Is that a city? It's in the southeast. Well, it's more east, right? It's more east than south, but it's... Is that a city? Well, it's in red instead of black, like all the other
cities. I feel
cities.
A strange disturbance, as if thousands of spoilerites are crying out in response, and suddenly silenced.
Yes.
There is a fort on basically the southern border of the Vale.
Just to indicate that southern fort, then?
Sure,
yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, do this fort here in the southern lands.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and is this like a caravan or something?
It will be.
We don't currently have carts or any sort of transport. There are 120 individuals, most of whom do not have horses.
So you want protection detail for 120 people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if you could associate some carts and horses as well.
I mean, we have our own carts and horses, but they're for our purposes. We're not. Well, I suppose we could rent them to you.
What would the price be for either a on-foot escort or an escort involving the rental of carts and horses?
Well, carts and horses we'll have to talk about after. Generally speaking, your 5-person squadron is gonna cost you about 20 gold per day.
And based on your expected rate, how many days do you think it would take to get there?
I would say from here to that keep, it's gonna be at least 4 months. And that's assuming that your people can
Keep
move at a normal rate. I mean, that's 4 months is generous, really. It might take less time, but the interesting aspect of that is that the more need there is for an armed guard, the more likely it is to take time, and that's just the nature of the business.
So minimum 24,000.
Yeah.
And do we
Now,
believe
if
that
you want
5?
Yes, that would give you 5 of our mercenaries.
Oh, no, I was counting. You said 5 was
20 a day.
20 a day. I took that times 4
Times 30.
times 120.
Do we believe that 5 would be enough for the number of people traveling?
Oh, I went with 20 people for 120 for 120 people.
That would be
20?
No, 5 for the 120 for the 4 months would be 2,400.
Yes, which is a pretty reasonable rate. And I think considering that some of the people at least looked like they could fight adequately, depending on the skill of the mercenaries, 5 should be enough.
You think we need 20? That'd be more like 9,600 with giving us.
Well, I thought he said it was 20 per 5.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No, a
No?
5-person squadron is 20 gold per day. If you
Yeah.
want more, the rates change.
Oh, okay. So how much for about 20?
Also, when is this happening?
As soon as
Tomorrow?
possible.
Well, we can get to brass tacks later, but that's definitely going to cost you.
Fair. Can we
Understandable.
meet the squad?
Well, I'd have to wake him up, but I will. I'll certainly go wake him up if I have a reasonable expectation that you are going to go with our company and pay us.
She'll look at the rest of the group. It seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
The Stabbingtons.
Oh.
Oh, well, I've seen their work.
Yeah.
It's good.
You don't need to wake them up.
You know, I thought that one of our squadrons had reporting meeting a very darkly dressed bird person. I have to say, I was briefly concerned when I saw you walk in that you were here to wreak some kind of revenge.
Oh, no hard feelings about that incident.
They also reported you being fairly professional about the whole situation, so, you just always have to watch your back.
So would it be the same group that attacked us then?
Not entirely. We do have a few others, but they're just as reliable. We drill all of our recruits, the same amount of time, and there'll be at least a couple veterans in the group.
Well, if they're as capable as the group that
5 would be plenty.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to have that vote of confidence. So, if you would be comfortable with that rate, I think we can arrange something reasonable, maybe 2 months ahead, and then once they get there, the rest. Plus, we'll say an extra. We'll say an extra 300 gold for the late notice, since we are going to have to shift some stuff around.
Seems reasonable.
Oh, also, if you expect any of these refugees to be hunted down, or if any sort of creature is coming after you or anything, you are adventurers. So I do. If you could be as forthcoming about that stuff as possible, that would be helpful.
Okay.
No, shouldn't have anybody that wants them back.
Right.
You haven't had any further dealings with the people who hired you to attack us, have you?
Nope, and I hope to not, other than maybe putting a dagger through one of their guts, since they did not fulfill the second part of the arrangement.
Oh, they didn't pay for... Or was there some other second form of arrangement?
Well, our party was unsuccessful, as you all well know.
Hi.
But the they still had to pay for expenses and things like that. Now, it's understandable that they wouldn't have wanted to pay afterwards, but this is civilization. We have ways of handling that. Certainly, haggling is not uncalled for, but they simply didn't. They gave us the runaround, and from what I hear, they're gone.
Yeah.
No, that tracks. As far as we know, they're gone. But I would be happy to put a dagger in them if I see them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would appreciate that. And in fact, if you make it back this way, and I have a reasonable way of verifying that, I'll give you maybe a third of the money you spend on this back.
That's fair.
Sounds like a good deal.
But it has to be that bot guy.
Mm.
Could you give us a description of him then? We haven't seen him.
Oh, you know, bald, has gauges in his ears, wears those kind of leather coats.
That could be a lot of different members of the coil, but if I hear the name, I'll make sure to pursue it.
Excellent. Well, where would you like to meet your squadron tomorrow?
At the northwest exit of... So we're in the Centipede district, aren't we? Here, at the northwest exit of this district, if we could.
Fine.
You had mentioned carts and horses and were extra.
We could definitely try to find some, yes. But if you want us to do that, then we're basically going to have to do it and then charge you for them afterwards.
Okay.
Seems
because
fair.
we don't know how much it's going to be.
Okay.
Right. Right, understandable.
I mean, it's a reasonable thing to attempt, since it would probably speed your travel unless there's going over particularly rough terrain.
I suppose, but I'm sure you understand that the longer this takes, the more we make.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
So we are happy to essentially provide you some carts and horses at a markup after we pay for them. I suppose that's not a problem.
Randus, you're the one with a...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can probably cover.
Provided the markup is a reasonable one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. I mean, you've all been personally stabbed by us before. You're practically family.
I suppose.
Say 10%.
We'll work it out once we find it.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what kind of a...
One more thing. Should you all get caught before you get the refugees to us, we're going to disavow all knowledge of this transaction.
Of course.
We would like to continue operating in Coldport.
Of course.
Absolutely fair.
I mean, I assume this is illegal. These have to be refugees, right?
Yes.
Right. Nobody moves. Only two types of organizations move these many people at once with such short notice. Poorly managed slaving operations and bleeding hearts who are moving refugees.
Fair.
All right. We'll see you at first light.
All right.
Okay, now send a letter to your mother.
Yeah. Send so how much should we let them know to earmark for payment?
Oh, I would. If it's half and half, they're going to probably be at least 2,000 gold.
It was 2 months plus the
Price
3
of the
extra
cards.
100.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it was 2 months plus the extra 300 up front.
Right.
So that's
Are we paying
going to
for
be
the wagons?
Yeah, that's extra that we'll
But
find
that's
out.
unless they have the wagons available in the morning, which I guess they would probably have the wagons available for us in the morning.
Yes, one would presume. Whatever they can assume.
We're not going to be able to pay for them ourselves. Since
We've got lots of gold.
yes, but they won't know the price.
Right.
So if they're not going to be able to
That's why I
obtain
say
the wagons,
if we estimate, we'll probably be paying them up front tomorrow morning, 2,000 gold. Randus can probably expect to offer at least 2,000 gold upon their arrival.
yeah, it seems accurate.
So I guess I'm ready.
All right, what do you got?
All right. Dear Mom, sending refugees from Coldport. Please arrange for lodging for about 120 individuals. Expect arrival 3 months. Caravan to need payment approximately 2,000. Sorry.
Love you.
I like sorry at the end. That makes it all better.
That makes it all Randus is what it makes it.
All right. And you've got you got the scroll of infinite sending?
I do have a far sending ritual.
Yeah, far sending, okay.
Not a scroll, just
Yep, all right.
He's got a
So
sending.
spend the dough for the sending.
Sending is getting to my equipment.
How much money does Ket have?
Component cost 800.
800 component deducted.
Let's see. It's just 100 each step, isn't it? On the currency?
I think so. Where's it?
What?
He's doing a conversion factor. He's got like 1 million pieces of copper and he wants to convert them to gold.
Probably
He's going to like go into the
platinum.
DMV with a
I've
bag
got-
of pennies and wanting to pay.
I've got an Astral Diamond and 50 Platinum.
Oh. Yeah, I
Oh,
hate that
so
it does that
don't know.
automatically.
Astral diamonds.
A platinum piece, well, an astral diamond, is worth 10,000 gold. Platinum is 100.
Astral Diamond's worth 10,000?
Yes.
So it's 1,000 platinum?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it should be 100 platinum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 1,000. It's worth 1,000 gold.
Is it?
No, it's 10,000.
10,000.
So an Astral Diamond is 100 platinum.
Yeah.
Oh.
4 zeros. 2 zeros times 2 zeros equals
My
4
math
zeros.
Did we lose Rodrigo?
Nope.
I'm just waiting.
Just shaking his head in frustration.
This amazing mathing. So just cut the diamond.
We have more than Orem has 60,000 gold in his bag.
Okay. That's good.
Plus whatever those giant rubies were that we got in the
I said, how do you have 60,000? You probably didn't spend as much
Still not rubies. You did not.
whatever they were, the gems.
Well, we broke open some pots and we just found these things, man.
Yes.
Okay. So what you're saying is we have more than enough gold. Why are we doing all this math?
That's what Orem is shaking his head about.
Because we need to know how much to subtract.
Yeah.
Get it?
That's why Orem said don't spend more than 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Can we keep it in nice round numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to know I love you guys, but if I were not playing remotely right now, I would crack your heads together like coconuts.
So, do you take out the 800 for the sending?
I did already.
All right.
So you can send it.
Ooh, sent.
Okay.
Horrendous finger wiggles. That's what Brian did.
And one of them is metal, so it goes creak.
Blah, 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 hands.
Blah, la, 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 la.
Just a short bit later, Randus gets a message back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but some of them are going to get put up in your room.
Okay.
Like 100.
Yep.
Hey, you have a big room. You're a noble.
Yes, he has a palatial estate. All right.
Don't think I had any volatile or sensitive experiments left in there, so it should be okay.
We hope. All right.
I'm sure your cousins have destroyed those already.
So, we've arranged for the travel. We've arranged for the receipt. Now all we need to do is wait for a cart.
We need to get the people out of the plague district.
The district.
How difficult do we expect that to be?
120 people?
Yeah. We've got a few options. Rodrigo, what's the how terrible of an idea is it to use the Proud Baroness to get the refugees out of the district?
Will they notice just a low-flying cloud just hovering over the plague district?
Well, they haven't so far, which is interesting that you pointed out, because you called for the Proud Baroness when you guys made it.
Crap!
So it's just hovering.
Yeah, the Proud Baroness, actually, there's been this ship-shaped cloud just hovering over Coldport wherever you guys go, probably for the last 4 or 5 hours.
I
was wondering what was really dark.
Has
It's
anyone
nighttime.
else noticed the sun is gone?
It's also nighttime.
It's actually night now, but yeah.
Well, that makes it even darker.
Yeah.
So no one's noticed as of yet.
Including us.
No. Yes, including you guys.
Including our brilliant adventuring party.
We are notoriously short-sighted. Can we just land the Baroness in the midst of the district, load people on, and fly away?
Logistically, that should work because it's a basically empty district. So yeah,
that was my intent when I asked him if we could
short flight, so we can probably
just outside the walls, basically.
It's going to be at least out
of eyesight.
It's going to be like
guards.
40? No. 25 trips? Because what do they hold? Like 5 or 6 people?
You can stick 20 people in the Baroness
okay.
if all you're
So 6
doing
trips.
is like just sticking them in there.
All right.
Yeah.
So like 6 trips.
It's going to be not comfortable, but it'll be for just a short time.
Well, do we all need to load up as well, or?
No.
No.
Probably not, but it would make sense for at least one of you to go with Randus.
Sure.
I say I'll go on the ship so as I can
Agreed.
guide people.
Sounds like a plan.
Do we want to
Wait
leave
on the
someone
ground.
outside the town to gather everybody?
Well, we'll need someone to handle crowd control and your general negotiations on the ground.
Yeah.
I can
I thought
certainly
we could
take
do
that
that.
role.
All right.
Sparkle and I can handle that.
Sounds good.
So Orm will stay in the Plague District and handle control there?
Orm's already got his handkerchief on.
Okay.
It's not an actual plague.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Go, team stupid!
Yes. Calculating for the amount of time that this took, we'll say that you guys successfully do that, but it takes all night. So,
All right.
right about first light, you guys managed to get the last of the people there and also get all of yourselves over there as well. Just as a bunch of really fit-looking people wearing leather armor come by with some oxen and maybe 4 carts.
Do any of them look familiar?
Yeah, a couple of them look familiar.
Hmm.
All right. Approach them.
Does the cargo?
Yep, they're the cargo.
Sarcastic air quotes.
All right, so our calculations come out to about 2,500. Does that seem fair?
Seems fair.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Give them half of my
Sounds,
platinum.
So Ket's paying for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, platinum. Fancy.
It's probably a mixed bag, but that's what the character builder.
Well, if there's
decided
any
to give me.
platinum in there, he'll still say, ooh, platinum, fancy.
Well, not more than 2.
He walks over to them and he's like, is anybody here nominally in charge? The guy that Ket had been talking to steps up. He's like, all right, it's your job to tell your people where to stand and where to go, and I'm going to teach you, as we get moving here, where they should stand and where they should go. All right? All right. And they just kind of start gathering them, putting some of them in carts, and then the rest are walking, and, the Stabbingtons also, some of them walk, and some of them get on the carts, and they start moving.
How many people does a cart hold?
It probably holds 10 uncomfortably.
Okay. And how many carts were there?
4.
4. Okay. That's all right. They
So,
can
like
rotate.
a third of them.
Yeah. And that's how caravans, that's how non-fancy caravans tend to work anyway. Some people walk, some people sit, and then you switch.
Yep.
All right.
Keeps people from getting too tired.
Yep. All right. Well,
Yeah, I figured I'd send them basically a sealed letter,
Mhm.
basically detailing the expenses. Would they provide a contract, or would I draft one up and have them signed? Or
They already had one.
Oh, okay.
So
I just would include that in there with a note to mom. Just seal it with my ring and tell them to provide that to the lady, my mom, when they arrive.
The lady,
What was the
my
name
mom.
of the guys that offered me money back if I kill the guy that didn't pay him?
yeah, his name is Dirk.
Dirk. Nice name.
By the way, Baroness
Dirk Stabbington.
Uthane.
Love it.
Baroness Duthane, not Lady My Mom. It is very important.
This
when
guy
the
wants us to go
titles
talk to
are
his mom.
important to get them correctly.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, they start moving.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye.
You get a few waves. They all seem.
Have fun in Diamond Throne.
Yeah.
Go visit our statues.
They'll see him.
There are statues of us?
Will they see him?
Not of us. Well, you mean
Smith.
us.
No, you actually. Sakar has seen the statues.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
You're referring to the ones in Diamond Throne
Yeah.
proper.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
headquarters.
All right. Now that they are off, we can get back to business, and I think the business this time is time to end this episode. Thank you so much for downloading and listening and sharing this episode with a friend. If you have any questions, podcast at majorspoilers.com. Be sure to visit the majorspoilers.bigcartel.com site if you're looking for some Critical Hit and Modern City merchandise. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.